The news tonight. City of Windhoek secures 155 million Namibian dollar loan for new power substation to avoid load shedding.
The International University of Management, a Namibian university dedicated to its people's future, a hub of abundant opportunities.
We are IUM for life. We are IUM.
Good evening, I'm Tonata Kavila in the news tonight. Windhoek Central Hospital opens pediatric theatre. A healthy family makes a healthy nation. Grade 8 learner at Walvis Bay School tutors fellow senior learners. Windhoek rooftop urban farm project expands rapidly. And Business on One comments corner, sport and the weather. Minister of Health and Social Services, Dr. Kalumbi Shangula, said that following the opening of a pediatric theatre today, surgeries performed on children will greatly improve. According to Shangula, the theatre at the Windhoek Central Hospital will cater for the pediatric needs of the whole country.
The minister stated that 90% of all pediatric surgical cases were previously referred to private hospitals in Namibia and in South Africa at very high costs due to the absence of a dedicated pediatric theatre, although there are 3 pediatric surgeons in the state.
Having a pediatric theatre in place will not only decrease the high cost associated with patient referrals, but also decreases the morbidity in emergency surgical cases caused by distance associated with patient referrals. The objective of the unit is to provide affordable quality pediatric surgical services that cater for the needs of the Namibian children, both in the state and also in the private health sector. Services currently offered include congenital anomaly corrections, such as anorectal malfunctions, Hirschsprung diseases, intestinal atresia, esophageal artesian, procedure for children's cancer diseases, such as childhood kidney cancer, liver cancer, adrenal gland tumor, etc. Previously, children with congenital anomalies used to wait till they are already far in their school-going age to receive their corrective procedures, and this caused a major impact on their psychological development. Now, with the pediatric surgery department on the ground, things have improved remarkably, but limited due to reduced theatre availability and equipment suited for children. Therefore, the pediatric theatre equipment and consumable donation will be an added advantage in effective management of pediatric healthcare services to be fully functional.
The head of the pediatric surgery department at the Windhoek Central Hospital, Dr. Konjela Hamunyela, remarked that the Health Ministry has over the years committed itself to initiating programs to reduce not only morbidity and mortality of children, but also costs incurred due to referring patients to the private sector.
Prior to this date, most, if not all, pediatric surgical patients were operated by the adult surgeons, adult general surgeons, or referred to the private sector for surgical management. In order to perform complex surgical cases, a dedicated pediatric theatre would help to mitigate the need for referral of the state cases to the private sector.
Benefactor of the new Windhoek Central Hospital Pediatric Theatre, chairman of the Kids Operating Room in Scotland, said the Kids Operating Room supports the care of 40,000 children in a year in Africa and the rest of the world.
And we're extremely proud to be working with a government who's clearly putting children's surgery as a priority, who's investing in the people to deliver those services. And so for us, this is a partnership. And that is something that we are extremely excited about taking forward. We're very happy to be here today opening this first dedicated operating theatre for children in Namibia.
There are data deals. And then there are Telecom Namibia data deals. And if you want the biggest data deal of all, you gotta get 31-day Jiva, which comes with a massive 50 gigs of data. Is it even possible to use 50 gigs of data in a month? You tell us. You also get 1,000 voice minutes and 400 SMSs. To get your hands on 31-day Jiva, dial *130*780# and enjoy a month of mega data. Whoa, that's a lot of data, minutes and SMS. How much is that? Must be expensive. No, it's only 185 Namibian dollars excluding VAT. T's and C's apply.
Telecom Namibia.
Sharing the world.
Welcome to the Living Room Stadium. It's the FIFA World Cup. The match is about to start. Food and drink ready. There's no space left for anyone. Come on, get your lucky chair. Take your usual spot. Even the puppy has one. It's preparation time. You can feel the tension in the air. And do you have everything you need to believe?
South African award-winning gospel artist and speaker Martin Fike, who was in Namibia recently, stated that a stable family is the foundation of a healthy nation. When the family unit is not functioning, the community is negatively affected. Fike stated that the breakdown of families is the reason there are many social ills in the community.
Fike was in Namibia for 6 days and was the main guest at the Youth Awakening event held on the 2nd of December at the Zoo Park Amphitheatre in Windhoek. The event addressed social issues such as mental health and teenage pregnancies to shift the discontent atmosphere and make it positive. These are issues faced by many Namibians and African youth at large. News on One caught up with Fike this week before he returned home. The multi-talented artist said he wants to see young people who are strong and offering solutions instead of depending on the government.
In Namibia, the stats are staggering. Over 27,000 young people are affected with mental health issues, depression, anxiety, etc., etc. So it's so important and vital for us to deal with these kind of issues, so to get involved in social issues. I believe that a nation is built from a family. Now, the reason why you find all the ills that you've mentioned, gender-based violence, anxiety, and depression, is because of a family structure. If the family is not right, the nation will never be right. So I believe that if also as we work with the government, we focus on family. Some families, I mean, you find kids that are growing up without parents, maybe single-headed family home. You know, you never had that fatherly love, or you never had a motherly love because maybe you have a bereaved, you know. So it's quite important for us to look at the root. I want to see a youth who are strong, not dependent on government, but rather offering solutions to the government. I want to see a thriving economy in this country.
In addition to participating at the Youth Awakening event, Fike, who is also a philanthropist, teamed up with the Baron Charity Foundation in Namibia and donated items valued at 9,500 Namibian dollars to 2 soup kitchens in Havana informal settlement.
When I found out there's a place called Havana, I said, where? In that beautiful, because all I know Swakop Munt and I know Valfas Bay, the dunes and all these beautiful places. But it was shocking to see that there are people living the way they're living in Havana, and which is important for me. You know, I believe in impact. You know, to success for me, one of my quotes as well is that success is investing your personality into people. It's impact. It's beyond money.
The founder of the Berean Charity Foundation, Antonia Dube-Ude, encouraged donors to keep up with the spirit of giving to the less fortunate.
A grade 8 learner from the Kwisebmund Secondary School at Walvis Bay has found a hobby of conducting his own research and assisting fellow learners to study more effectively and pass.
14-year-old Johnson Haikela decided to boost his education by spending time doing research that is even above grade 12 level. The bubbly A-star learner who plans to become a biologist after completing school says there is nothing he can learn from his current grade as everything is too easy. Therefore, Haikela started conducting his own research, especially in biology and physical science, and also challenged himself by answering grade 10 and 11 question papers.
So first I have my table of content. It's a page, it's just a page where I have my table of content to find out where the topics are and so on. So I go through many topics every week or several weeks. I always like to go through many topics. Like maybe I will talk about dinosaurs or evolution or genetics. And yeah, I also have many books of them. And most of the books are based on biology. It's my favorite things to study. These are all the topics which I always read in my books, and I try to learn a lot from the and I also try to learn a lot from the topics and so on. Yeah, but don't finish. These a lot. I have a lot of information which I always note down. And most of the things which I usually learn, they are from YouTube or the internet.
His teachers were amazed when Haikela asked them to mark his question papers because he scored way higher than the majority of grade 11 and 12 learners at his school. Haikela took his academics further by becoming a part-time job tutor for 10 pupils. He also started a YouTube channel where he provides straightforward explanations in physical science and biology topics.
Okay, genetics has to be anything that has to study about DNA, chromosomes, and genes. So first we have what we call DNA. DNA is a polymer. It's a polymer made from nucleic acids, and it's the hereditary substance in a cell of an organism that encodes for all the processes that have to happen in the organism. So DNA is arranged into condensed units called chromosomes, and usually chromosomes in a cell, usually they are only visible when the cells are about to replicate or split. So DNA encodes for proteins, and all these proteins will determine the characteristics of an organism. So DNA is encoded into RNA, which stands for ribonucleic acid, and that RNA is sent outside the nucleus and then it goes to a ribosome.
Haikela's dream is to make enough money or get sponsors to buy 3 desired items: a cell phone, laptop, and a microscope. He wants to store and save his work on the devices as notebooks are piling up, while he also wants to use a microscope when he studies the genetics of insects. Haikela's father told News on One that he noticed that his son was different from other children.
So this guy, from the beginning, when he was in pre, he likes sports. When you go out, when you come back, you find the guys with a big books, like the geography, board, new technology, those books. So I feel so good. I'm very proud to have this as a son. Maybe anybody can help. So because many people they ask me, why can we change a guy, a boy to another school? Like those are private school. So for that, we don't have enough money to take him to the private school. So maybe if there's anybody can help, you're welcome.
The father said although he always makes sure that his son does not associate with the wrong crowd, he encourages Johnson to play and socialize with his friends.
Great deals from Choppies. Choppies, great deals for your money.
The rooftop hydroponics and aquaponics farm situated in Windhoek, known as Urban Harvest, has expanded its production capacity by tenfold. The owner of the agribusiness, Dean Spall, says Urban Harvest had only 300 grow holes in August and now has increased to 3,000 grow holes and is producing 6 different types of lettuce species.
Spall explained that Urban Harvest initially only supplied restaurants in the surrounding areas of the hydroponic setup in Eros, but has now expanded to selling outside Windhoek. He added that they recently acquired about 10 hectares of land on the premises of the Safari Court Hotel, which was the first external property on which Urban Harvest produces fresh vegetables for the business while training hotel staff on the practice.
What we really measure our capacity in is the number of grow holes we have here on the farm, which is basically an indication of how many plants we can have in production at any given moment. Previously we had about 400, 500 plants. Currently at our capacity we are about 3,000 grow holes now, and we are still in the process of fulfilling the space. By the time it's finished we should have between 5,000 and 6,000 plants growing in this area here, so very high density, almost 100 plants per square meter, and this is because of the vertical farming process which we are using here. And this is where we are now. We're still focusing predominantly on lettuce. We're growing 6 different varieties of lettuce here, 3 green varieties and 3 red varieties, so that we can make sure we have a good mix for our customers. And then in the new year now we are starting experimentations with different types of herbs and green leafies. So things like basil, parsley, coriander, rocket, Swiss chard. All these things that still apply in the highly perishable goods, so they don't transport well, and this is why we focus on growing them in the urban environment, so that we are as close to our customers as possible to ensure that they get the freshest products possible.
Spall added that other than the partnership with Safari Court, Urban Harvest is initiating 2 hydroponics projects in Marintal as well as Arandis, which are to start up in 2023.
One being in Mariental with an organization called Impact Tank. They are a non-profit organization that really focus on skill upliftment and development. We intend to implement this place in the beginning of 2023, in the first quarter. And then we are also looking at a project in Arandis as part of a housing development actually there. And the concept is a low-cost housing development centered around a farm, so that the people living in the low-cost housing development actually have access to food and to resources.
Former intern at Urban Harvest, Hendrik Njava, told Agri on One that at the urban farm, he learned that for this level of expansion, record keeping is the most crucial, and that Urban Harvest is planning to offer countrywide training to individuals that are interested in agriculture, as well as to source new clients for the business in the process.
The importance of record keeping in agribusinesses and all businesses as a whole, planning, very significant as well, and the will and drive to always improvise for best quality.
Njava has an urban farming business of his own, known as Agri-Optimistic, whereby he installs hydroponic systems for different clients and continues to work with Spall on the growth of Urban Harvest as a partner.
At OK Furniture, we know you work hard all year so you can give your loved ones a festive season filled with cheer. So to help you enjoy the Christmas you want, we save you money on the home essentials you need. Save on the 32-inch Omega HD-ready digital TV, now only $1,799. Or this Bradford Lounge Suite, just $8,999. only at OK Furniture, where we save you money.
In other news, mobile telecommunication company MTC has generated $2.8 billion in revenue for the financial year ended September 2022, representing a growth of 3.7% when compared to the previous financial year. The listed company also recorded $793 million as profit this year. The company's chief financial officer, Tina Smart, made the announcement on Thursday during the MTC Integrated Financial Report. According to Smart, the solid performance is attributed to a 6.4% increase in prepaid average revenue per user, in addition to continued expansion in the enterprise and home fiber markets. And that is all we had for you. Be sure to follow us on our social media pages for more on the business front.
This festive season, choose ShopRite for low prices and get the best deals, like 1 kilogram Right Brand oats for only $29.99 each, and 900 gram Bukomo wheat bix cereal, just $52.99. Choose from our delicious roast to a wide range of liquor. Get quality appliances or choose the best toys for every child. Choose low prices this festive season. ShopRite, lower prices you can trust, always.
Lontavera disongoshira verera
Now a look at the Comments Corner, your daily dose of comments from our social media pages. The City of Windhoek Council is yet to agree on a date to vote for a mayor, deputy mayor and members of the management committee. This after the municipal council failed to elect its new office bearers after SWAPO and the Independent Patriots for Change or IPC councillors staged a walkout during the election last week. As a result, the elections were called off due to lack of a quorum, leaving the city without a mayor until next year. Axel wants the whole council dissolved. Katodo questioned the move by the councillors and asked how the walkout will help the residents. According to Hasay, there will be no development with the scuffles in the council. Philip said this would never have happened during the time of the founding father. Veyama pointed out that first it was the CEO and now the mayor. That is all from our Comments Corner. Be sure to engage on our stories on our social media pages for broadcast or news on One.
Don't you love it when things just click? We've created a range of Clicks brand quality products you can trust and afford. When you choose Clicks brands, you're saving with no compromise on quality. That's win-win. With thousands of Clicks brand products, you'll never run out of ways to switch and save. Find the Clicks brand product that's perfect for you and your family. When you switch, it just clicks. So switch and save. Only at Clicks.
And now for news from the sports front, the much anticipated annual Nedbank Desert Dash will officially kick off tomorrow afternoon. The cycling event will attract over 900 cyclists from different categories, including its first ever Paris cyclists. The cyclists will race from Windhoek to Swakopmund in 24 hours via the Namib Desert.
The event started in 2004 with close to 40 cyclists at the time, has now reached new heights, including several categories. For many participants, the 397-kilometer ride is usually part of their bucket list. The event's organizer, Leander Boer, shared that the first Nedbank Desert Dash took 2 days to complete, adding that this year, all systems are on track for the race.
The first few years there were no solo riders because people didn't think that it's possible. And the route was much shorter. So I think in the first year there were maybe 40 people or so, and then it has grown over time. And so it was just a 4-man relay event in the beginning, and then they introduced 2-man teams, and then some crazy person probably thought, hang on a second, I think I can do it by myself. Yeah, and the rest is history. Now we have, the last 3-4 years, we've just got over 200 solo cyclists doing it. I guess it's just a challenge. Huh? People just, obviously the equipment gets better and the preparation gets better, and the race gets better because there's a lot of feeding stations and so on. So it's maybe not as tricky or difficult as it was 10 years ago because of everything around it that supports the riders. But yeah, it's still crazy. I mean, we've made changes almost every year, and this year is a similar route to last year. It's pretty much the same. The finish into Swakop is a bit different. But we're talking about almost 400 kilometers, huh? 397 now, so very close to 400.
Borg added that this year holds no major surprises, but cyclists can expect a few additional kilometers to the race. He also said that most participants ride for fun, while others challenge themselves, and some to commemorate a loved one.
So once they get introduced to the Nedbank Desert Dash, it's a life-changing thing for a lot of people. You know, they live healthier, lose lots of weight, take up sport, drink less or stop completely. And that in itself, I think, is just a major achievement. And if that changes people's lives for the better, and that's fantastic. And I mean, these people are not racing to get onto the podium. You know, that's for the professionals and the people that hunt the prize money maybe. But I think 90% of the people is just a challenge. Or they're riding for somebody. I was at Legacy of Love 2 days ago. They have like a candle function, annual thing. And they normally, the dash for them is they ride for a lost one, you know, if you've lost a friend or a father or a mother or a daughter or whatever. So they cycle for a purpose, and I think lots of people do. I always say that sometime in the night, so between 2 and 4 o'clock, you will ask yourself, why am I doing this? And it's then when it's getting difficult and tough and you're tired, you just want to give up, you're puking or whatever, you know, you can go through all sorts of roller coasters in the middle of the night. And if you're then riding for a purpose, whatever your purpose is, then that keeps you going.
Borg concluded that the registration process has been finalized, and single riders who have completed the Nedbank Desert Dash more than 5 times will receive a special award.
That's all the sport news we had for you. Please stay tuned for the weather forecast.